Hey, how's it going everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about Season 1 of Marvel Zombies, the only season that's currently out. I know that Season 2 was confirmed this year, 2026, and so that's going to be out, I can't remember when, 2028, something like that. There's some time before then. If you've seen Season 1 of What If, you've seen the first part of the story already. This show is a spin-off and a continuation of the story of What If Zombies, which I believe is Season 1, Episode 5 of What If I'm not mistaken. So if you've seen What If, you've seen the beginning of this story already. This show is only based off of that specific episode from What If, the What If Zombies episode, because later on in that season of What If, in the finale of Season 1, they bring back Zombie Wanda. They summon her in that episode to fight Infinity Ultron so that our heroes can escape, and Infinity Ultron obliterates her. But you kind of just have to ignore all that and just base this show off of the What If Zombies episode, because Zombie Scarlet Witch, as far as we know, is the main villain of the show. So everything lines up with that one episode of What If, but nothing else. Don't pay attention, don't think about anything else. And speaking of which, I really love that in this show, similarly to that episode from What If with the zombies, everyone is up for grabs. Anyone and everyone can be killed by zombies. No one is safe. It doesn't matter if it's a character that we normally see as a villain or as a hero. Anyone can just be eaten at any time. I enjoyed the zombies episode in What If Season 1, but I think that this show just takes it to another level. In terms of story, I think that the story is a whole lot better here. Even though I like the story in that one episode, I think it's a lot better here. And also, I think that it's a lot more graphic in this show. I rewatched that episode after I had watched this show, just to refresh myself on what came before. And even though this episode is a little bit graphic for a What If episode, it did feel pretty tame compared to some of the things that we get in the Marvel Zombie show. I think I was expecting it to be a little bit more like what we get in What If, and so I was kind of surprised at how graphic it was. Something else that I really enjoyed about the first season of Marvel Zombies, especially in comparison to that episode we get in What If, I really like that this show is elevating the level of danger that the zombies pose to our heroes. Not only the superpowered zombies, heroes and villains who have turned into zombies, but I'm talking about regular zombies as well. It just feels like there's a lot more danger. It feels like people are even less safe than they were in the What If episode, and maybe that's partly to do with the increase in how graphic it is, but I was pleased to see that they weren't treating any of the zombies as fodder. I really love that this show is incorporating all kinds of characters, and as many characters as possible, seemingly, from all corners of the MCU. Comparing the show again to What If, I feel like there were some times in What If where we were focusing on a select group of characters, and all the other characters that were involved were just kind of filling those support roles or cameo roles or something like that. But I feel like we're getting a wide variety of characters in this show, and it makes the universe feel big, it makes the world feel big, and I really like that. For example, having Blade be the avatar of Khonshu in this show was a sick idea. I really like that. And fun fact, Blade was only in this show because the show creators thought that the Blade movie would have been out by the time the show aired. We're never getting that movie, are we? So Miss Marvel is the lead of this show, kinda. She's the central character, and the plot kind of revolves around her. And even at the end of Season 1, it's clear that she is going to be at least a large character in Season 2, if not the lead again. And honestly, I think it really works for this show, having Miss Marvel be the lead. How many zombie projects, franchises, movies, TV shows are there where there is a kid as either the lead or co-lead? I think it's kind of a tried and true thing, having a kid be a lead in a zombie project. A lot of the zombie franchises that have a kid as the lead or the co-lead are really good, and Marvel Zombies is no exception. I think that it really works for the story, and in my opinion, this is the best thing we've gotten yet that has Miss Marvel as the lead. We had her as a co-lead in the Marvels, and we had her as the lead in Miss Marvel TV show. I think that Season 1 of Marvel Zombies is better than both of those. I honestly really enjoyed this first season of Marvel Zombies. It's better than any season of What If, and that's kind of what I was comparing it to since it's a spin-off of that. I was thinking to myself, oh, this is going to be like What If, so I'll watch it just down the line. Let me push it off for a while. And honestly, now I kind of regret it because it's better than any season of What If by far, and I was really surprised by this. I'm still getting back in the swing of watching TV, and so I haven't had a good cliffhanger in a while, but season 1 of Marvel Zombies has a good cliffhanger. With the show being only 4 episodes and me enjoying it, I was already wanting more, but with the story leaving off the way that it does, I really want more. And that's what I want out of TV shows. If there's going to be a next season and the show's not over, leave me wanting more. Season 1 left me wanting my questions answered, and so I honestly can't wait for season 2. I'm glad that's been confirmed already, so now I don't have to worry about them canceling the show or anything. But I want some of these questions answered. For example, Miss Marvel is the lead of the show and we follow her throughout the show, and Zombie Wanda is the antagonist, the villain of the season at least, if not the show in totality. And there's some sort of connection between them that Kamala doesn't know anything about. Zombie Wanda seems to want something from her, there's some connection there, and I want to know what that is. But yeah, that's all I've got to say for now about season 1 of Marvel Zombies. I was surprised by this show, I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for season 2. Unfortunately, it's going to be a few years before then. But there's a lot of other things I need to watch in the meantime, so I guess there's no rush really. But yeah, what did you think of the first season of Marvel Zombies? Let me know in the comments down below. Is this one that you've kind of put off and haven't watched yet? If so, I recommend checking it out because it's a lot of fun. But yeah, if you want to help me out here on YouTube, liking this video, commenting on this video, subscribing to the channel, or checking out some of my other videos, all help me grow the YouTube channel. I've done lots of other things, I've done other Marvel things, I've done season 2 and season 3 of What If, as well as a review of the show in totality. I watched season 1 before I was doing reviews, so I never really got around to making a review for that. I've also done other Marvel projects, other superhero projects, just movies, TV shows in general, so if any of that sounds good to you, go check it out. But yeah, until next time. Bye.